It is part of the Prime Minister's duty to speak on behalf of British people. Well, these British people are screaming, protesting and imploring, no, no, no,
no, no, no.
Well, I say to you now, Mr. Brown, where do your loyalties lie? With the American-supplied bombs raining mystery down on Gaza, or with the voices of your own people and your duty to your country? Do the right thing. My brothers and sisters, this demonstration is not the end of a great voice, but the beginning of a greater one. So when we return home, let us stay joined as we all are today, and let our resounding and continuous cry echo around the world. Make it stop! Make it stop!
Make it stop! Make it stop! Make
Gaza is still standing on its feet. They hoped with their siege for 2 years they would have brought Gaza to its knees, but it is still standing. And this is why they are hysterical. This is why they are attacking schools and mosques and universities. They want us to believe it is Hamas. It is not Hamas. We know it is not the rockets. They have killed 430 in the West Bank in the last year. Not a single rocket from the West Bank. How do you explain this? But we understand this is a price. This is a price of freedom. This is a price for your resistance. This is a price for supporting your legitimate government. This is why they are attacking you. And we understand that this will end when the people of Gaza get shows that this criminal onslaught on them is ended sooner rather than later. We know that in another few days our diplomats will be going to the region. We say, yes, we support diplomacy, but we support diplomacy when it is based on respect for the rights of the Palestinian people. We don't want the occupation of Israel. We want an end to the occupation. And so we say also that Gaza will bring Israel's shame upon the world because of its crimes, because of its outrages against the Palestinian people. Israel will be made to pay for what it is doing in Gaza today. Finally we say, shame on them, shame on Israel, shame on the British government who have brought these crimes to the people of Gaza.
shame!
Thank you, Dawud. We can now say that today's demonstration is the biggest ever protest of solidarity with the Palestinian people that has ever taken place in this city. Well over 50,000 people here, there's at least 5,000 demonstrating in Manchester and many thousands more in other protests across the country. Now, many of us have been building this demonstration over the last week, but our next speaker has perhaps been building it over the last 30 years or more of tireless solidarity work with the Palestinian people, both in Britain and around the world. He has taken that message of justice, of struggle against imperialism, into the House of Commons, onto the airwaves of London, on the streets of Bethnal Green, to the corridors of the United States Senate. Please welcome George Galloway. Brothers and sisters, comrades and friends, wassalamu alaikum. In April and May of 1943, the Jews of the Warsaw Ghetto were surrounded by barbed wire fences by the occupiers of Poland, and they faced a choice. In the words of the song of the partisans, they could die on their knees, or they could live forever. And they chose to rise up against their occupier, to use their bodies as weapons, to dig tunnels, to fight, not to die in ones and twos of hunger and typhus, but to die as free men and women. Today, the Palestinian people in Gaza are the new Warsaw Ghetto, and those who are murdering them are the equivalent of those who murdered the Jews in Warsaw in 1940. To the Israeli embassy, where I've been every day this week. But yesterday, I was at the embassy of Egypt. And I want to say that there are many governments responsible for this great crime in Palestine. But the dictatorship of Hosni Mubarak is responsible for the these last 2 years, when he was embracing Livni as the bombs were falling, when he locked the border at Rafah, he became an international criminal. So I call, in conclusion, on the great people of Egypt, on the heroic armed forces of Egypt, on the heroic army of Egypt of 1973, to rise up and sweep away this tyrant. To rise up and to demolish the border at Rafah and let the...
We're on our way to the Israel embassy. We hope we continue our protest over there. As you can see, the voice is getting louder, the noise is getting louder, the talks have inspired everyone. And we expect to see much more.
CNN report of the CNN report.
50,000 people are gathered in the square, all moving towards Israel embassy. We'll get our voices heard. Roads have been blocked, all for this protest. We hope we get our voices heard. Palestine! Palestine! Palestine!